Hello, hello, guys. Hello, hello. Sending some requests here, calling people. Okay. Okay. Omar, brother. Wait. Hello, guys. Sérgio Ramos. Solano. Let's see. I have Shaun Hooke. Already invited Shaun. Olá, Gonçalo. Hello, Shaun.
Hey, how you doing?
Yeah,
Good to see
cool.
you.
Nice to see you. Nice to see you.
Yeah,
Finally. Yeah, cool.
yeah,
So yeah, you are inside the studio as well. You have your
I
space
I
to
am.
practice.
Yeah, yeah. Well, it's soundproofed, and I live in a terrace house, so
Yeah.
the neighbors. I've been recording since 9:30 this morning, and I don't think they'd like 8 hours of piccolo trumpet. So
The
this place is completely soundproof. Yeah, yeah,
yes. Same here. I think it's a problem in the UK. These houses, isn't it? We need to
yeah.
soundproof.
Absolutely. I used to live in a old stone cottage in Oxfordshire. When I lived in Oxfordshire,
Oh man,
it was
awesome.
built in 1776. Beautiful old place, and the walls were stone, and they were this thick, and
Yes.
you could play in the middle of the night, and nobody would care. Nobody would
Yes.
hear it. But
Yes.
in Dublin, I have a terrace house, and the walls are like paper, I suppose. Now
Yes.
we do have sound. We've put soundproofing in over the years, but having somewhere to record and to practice that is completely soundproof, both for the neighbours, but also
Yes.
for me. I was recording something at the beginning of the last lockdown, and it was for the Late Late Show, which is our big Friday night TV
Yes.
show. And about a quarter of the people in Ireland, about 1 million people, watch it every night. And I was recording something, and I got to the end. It was difficult, and it was very high. And I got to the end, and there was 2 bars rest, and I heard somebody slam the door next door and shout, "How many times do I have to tell you?" You know, so I had to do the whole thing again.
Oh
So I said,
man,
I said
but
to my wife, "Look, we have this outhouse, a thick block outhouse at the end of the garden. Let's just pay somebody, and let's finally get a proper soundproof place." And it took them
yes.
about 2 weeks, but especially they did great work on the ceiling. They have
Yes.
special hangers so that there's no vibrations. I
All
live
right.
quite close to the military airport,
Ah,
but
okay.
I can't hear anything. So it's
All
great.
right. That's
Perfect.
awesome. That's awesome.
Perfect.
That's awesome. And I'm happy for you because I had the same problem with the neighbors here in the first
Yeah.
lockdown, and it's awful. So, Sean,
Yes.
the way I met you was a funny was a funny way.
Oh,
I will
are we?
not even tell. I will not tell the guys here because I
No, I
feel
don't
okay.
think so.
And you know what? I had another problem about 2 weeks or 3 weeks ago. Someone said something on Facebook, another British expression like, uh, the guy is really good, and he doesn't like to blow his own trumpet. So I thought the guy was saying that I was I stole my trumpet or something like that. Again, and I
It's
said,
not
but the
your own.
trumpet is mine. The trumpet is mine. And the guy was just laughing at me, saying, "I know, but I'm just saying you are humble." And I said, "Ah, what a bad expression." Yes, but
Yeah.
so funny way. Do you want to tell us a bit about you? Because then was really good that that happened because then I met you, and And
Absolutely, yeah, that's great.
actually, I
Yeah.
knew you from all the videos I've seen from you trying trumpets with different stores here. One of them is Gear Music, where I buy a lot of things. And I didn't just connect with a person, and that's awesome to know you now. Do you want to tell us a bit
Yeah,
about you? Where do you come from? How you did start?
yeah, sure. How did the journey start? How did the journey start? Well, I come from the Midlands in England. You could tell by my accent, I'm not Irish. I'm English. I have to say, it's very straight. I'm married to an Irish girl, and my children are obviously Irish, and it's very strange for me as an Englishman having Irish children. It's a bit
Yes,
weird. It's a little bit weird.
yes,
You must
yes,
have the same thing with children growing up in the UK, and it's really, really strange. But I come from, I suppose, where I come from in Leicestershire has coal mining, stone mining, and wherever there's mining, there's brass bands.
yes,
So
yes.
I was a cornet player in the local band from the age of 6 or 7 years old. I started, and it's a place called Enderby, and I retain a really strong link with the band still. If I go back to England, I try to play. The bandmaster is the godfather of my children, you know.
All right,
So it was more than just about learning the trumpet. It was more a family and has remained my family for. I'm 52 tomorrow, so I would say 45 years.
all right,
And the
all right.
bandmaster said I used to fall asleep when the rehearsal got to about 8:30, 9 o'clock. I would be asleep in the corner
Yeah,
because I was just a baby, you
too
know.
young.
So that's how I started really in the brass
Awesome.
bands, and still try to do some brass band playing here. I'm kind of a member of the Drogheda band, who are the champion. They're the champion band here
In Ireland.
in Ireland, you know. So it's a very good standard. Sometimes I play a little bit of soprano cornet for them, or I sit on the end of the front row and friends with the guys, and did a little solo thing for them at Christmas for their Christmas concert. So yeah, I come from brass banding really, rather than
Awesome.
orchestral playing. That all came later, you know. I didn't
All
play in
right,
an orchestra until I was 16 or so.
all right.
We had a music service, a good music service in Leicestershire. Very good, actually. Lots of people went on to be professionals from there, and there were many wind bands and orchestras there. And each year there would be big auditions, and for 3 years in a row, I failed to get a place in any of the
Doesn't matter.
orchestras. So I practiced and I practiced and I practiced some more. And when I was 15, I think I got a place in the third or fourth orchestra down, you know, and I loved it. Playing an orchestra is so different, so different. I
Yes.
remember uh, I, I sat with a young girl who turns out she was born on the same day in the same hospital as me, really peculiar. And I was first trumpet, she was second trumpet, and we started with some yes, Trish Trash Polka. Trish Trash Polka. I don't know whether you know it, or Thunder and Lightning Polka. I forget, one of these big Strauss, Johann
Yes, yes,
Strauss
yes.
things, and I loved it. All the different instruments. It was a change to brass banding. So that's how I was into orchestras. And then when it came to going to college, and did I want to be a professional trumpet player? The answer was no. I did. I went and I was a keen scientist. So I got a place actually at Oxford University. You might have heard of that university.
Well, of course.
And and I went to Oxford and I studied chemistry for 4 years. And
Wow.
then at that time, it was very difficult. The country was in a recession, so it was easier to stay at the university. And I did a PhD in chemistry. So I spent 8 years at Oxford University, but I carried
Wow.
on. I carried on with lessons with John Miller, who's recently retired from the Royal Northern
Yes.
College of Music. And after 8 years, I decided I didn't want to do that anymore. I wanted to play the trumpet. So I
But that's
went to
awesome.
I went to Birmingham Conservatoire for a year, and I worked with the City of Birmingham Symphony Orchestra as a
All right.
deputy, and did some pop and rock tours with a touring company based in there. I did a tour, 2 tours, lead trumpet with Barry Manilow, which I loved. It's cheesy music, Barry Manilow, but I love it, and lots of rock stuff as well. So when it came to auditioning for the RT Concert Orchestra, which plays all kinds of music, to have worked with good orchestras, but also to have done jazz and pop and stuff,
Yeah.
it suited me. I suited them, and they suited me, and that was 20 years ago, and it seems like just yesterday. 20
Wow.
yes, over 20 years, 20 and a half years I've been in the orchestra. I haven't been sacked yet, so
Wow.
it's going okay.
Wow. But it's so nice to see how your life changed, and it's nice because sometimes we have stories here of people that wanted to play piano and now they are trumpet players. Others wanted to be doctors and now they are, and you are one of them. And
Every, I miss
Oxford is
Oxford, actually. It's
um
it's
I love it.
beautiful, and I
Yeah.
I have so many friends, and I miss my old cottage that I rented. The one that was built in
I can imagine.
1776. It
I
was
can
in a
imagine.
village of just 400 people, and they had a shop and a beautiful pub, and I missed that, and I missed the community of the people. I mean,
Yes.
Dublin's a great place to live, but it's not the same as living in a small English village,
No, no.
Uh, but I'm missing Portugal. Normally, I go to Portugal in January with my
I
family, and we couldn't go this
yeah.
year. We're all really upset, and we're all very pale because we've not had any
Well,
sunshine.
yes. Tell me about that. Tell me about that.
You
Tell
must
me
be
about.
missing the
I'm
sunshine.
losing my color now. So,
Oh,
just to tell you, just to connect the question, I was living in London for 4 years, and I used to go every week to the church in Oxford, exactly because of that
oh,
tradition.
yeah.
That all our community of friends were there in a little town as well, really old, and we loved. Was our trip every weekend just to go to the church and be there. So I love it, and congratulations for the PhD
Well,
because
that. Oh, well, I don't use it. I don't use it very much
doesn't matter.
anymore. Sometimes, over the years, there've been people in the orchestra, and their children are reaching the what we have the leaving certificate, which is like the baccalaureate or the final exams when you're 18. And
Yes,
I've helped to tutor them in chemistry, physics, and mathematics. So it can be useful. And actually, let me tell you a story. I don't want to just rabbit on, but I suppose that's what I'm here for. About 3 years ago, I woke up one morning, went to work, and I went to play. I went to play, and I couldn't form an embouchure. And I'd done a television show the night before, and it turns out I had Bell's palsy. So this side of the mouth went down, and I couldn't. Nothing on this side of the face would work. Really
Dystonia.
shocking. But no, it's not dystonia, but it has similar symptoms. But it is to do with one of the nerves being infected and inflamed,
Oh yes,
and the doctor said, "Well, there's a 75% chance you will recover." Now, when it's your living to use your
I
chops,
know.
75% is not enough of a chance. So clearly, I have made a full recovery. But I started when I was sick. I started to teach mathematics in particular because there's a very
All
large
right.
market for people who want help and tutorial work. So I have that still in the background. I have all the
Yes,
textbooks.
yes,
I try to keep up with the syllabus. So fingers crossed, I'll be playing the trumpet till I die. But
yes.
there,
You will.
I have a plan B. I have a plan B. You know.
You never need a plan B when you are really good on the plan A as you are, and you are.
Ah,
So,
ah,
yeah.
ah,
Do you see? Do you see?
my
I got
friend.
a friend now. Now I got a friend. You know. All right. Um, Shaun, uh, let me ask you something that I always find it really important, but it's so good because I never had someone. Oh, did I lose
Oh,
you?
it's my.
Ah, but can you hear me? Wait. Yes, we are back. That's all right. That's all right. There's not a problem at all. Can you
We're
hear
back.
me now?
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Uh, do you find I never had
Fire away.
someone that works with mathematics? So, do you find that mathematics are important in connection with music when you apply them on music? Because music is full of numbers and full of mathematics. Did that help you?
I think. I think most of the time I only have to count to four.
All
I
right.
don't know whether it really helped me today. I had something very difficult to record today, and it was in all different times of time signatures, and that with a click track, and that was difficult. And maybe my discipline of concentration on the mathematics helped me. But
That's
I
it.
did have
Yes.
I had an opera project. I had an opera project before. It was in September, and we had 10 mini operas, and that was very, very tough. Um, I really had to get my calculator out. So
That's all right. But yeah, the focus. Well, everyone can imagine if you've done mathematics or chemistry, whatever in Oxford, you need to be a really focused and clever person, and of course that helps
it's
in the way you practice.
concentration. It's discipline and concentration, really. We all need that as musicians, of course.
But don't you think that is what is missing more and more nowadays on the students, the focus and concentration? Maybe because of
Absolutely.
the new technologies and all that. I don't know, but don't you feel that is a problem nowadays?
It is. It is. My daughter today, she's doing her grade one cornet, and she hasn't focused on her scales. She hasn't had the discipline. And today, when we went to video her exams, she wasn't prepared because she hadn't been had the discipline and the concentration. So
That happens. That happens. I know. All right.
it does.
Um.
So she has learned a lesson today.
Well,
Dedication,
exactly,
discipline. Yeah,
exactly. And now she's gonna have to improve. Um.
yeah,
So tell me about your experience in Birmingham. I didn't know you have been on the symphony in Birmingham. I know the
yeah.
guy that is playing. Tom is playing now principal trumpet there. I know.
John Holland taught me, and and also the second trumpet, who is now retired, Wes Warren, taught me. I did a lot of very big concerts, including with Simon Rattle. I did one with him before he left for the Berlin Symphony Orchestra.
All right.
Obviously, working in a world class orchestra is very fantastic experience. I was booked to play Janacek's Sinfonietta. I don't know whether you've probably played it as well, I expect. There's 10 offstage trumpets,
Trumpet. Yes.
but only three on stage. And the second trumpet said, why don't I go into the orchestra and be on stage, and he would do the off stage. And I thought, okay, that's fine. And I'd heard the piece many times, the big movement, and it's very noisy and nothing exposed, fine. But then when you get to the quiet movement, three trumpets have like individual solos,
Yes.
you know, and I sat there and I was very nervous. And it was being conducted by a conductor called Mark Elder, and he stopped the orchestra. He turned to me and he said, "Shaun, second trumpet." And I thought, how does he know my name out of 108 people? But I'd worked a few weeks before with him at English National Opera,
Oh
and
wow.
he had I was in the offstage brass, and he had trained the offstage brass, so he had remembered me, a very young, beginning of career guy, only spoke to a couple of times. He had an amazing memory and remembered me. But I have to say, when we named me, in the symphony, in the it freaked me out a little bit.
I can
You
imagine.
know, so I was definitely disciplined and concentrating and all the things you need to do in a symphony orchestra.
All right, that's awesome. Now in Ireland is a totally different, even if it belongs to the United Kingdom and the Northern Ireland, talking about that,
Yeah.
but it is different. The culture is different. The way the people lives life is totally different. So I know it's not easy for you, and I can imagine. How was your adaptation? I think
Well,
is so different for a British person to go to Ireland as is for a Portuguese person to move to England. So it is the
yeah,
same shock.
big difference. Big
Yes.
difference.
Can you
Big
tell me
difference in
how
culture.
was if people wants to go to work in Ireland, for example, to learn with you, to have lessons with you, or to play there? Uh, how is that there? What was your
Well,
first impression?
well, number one, the musicians are very talented. There's no difference there. There's very the standard
Yeah.
is very, very good. I mean, we certainly, in the RT Concert Orchestra, we certainly think we're better than the BBC Concert Orchestra. Standard wise, it's good, but attitudes, especially 20 years ago, very much more relaxed. And when I came as a rather serious young musician, I found it quite difficult to cope with the relaxed attitude. There was definitely an attitude that, sure, everything will be fine. Don't
Yes.
worry about it. Don't practice too much. We'll just do the gig. It'll be good, you know. And I didn't like this, especially as I was a section leader, and I joined as section leader. To have guys sitting number 2 and number 3 that were very relaxed, I didn't like it. So it has been my aim over the last 20 years to become more relaxed. And I hope I'm a bit more relaxed now. I say to my wife, she's a Dubliner, as the years go by, my blood is turning less red and it's becoming more
Yeah.
green, you know.
Yeah.
And look,
Agree.
everybody is, particularly the younger players, they do practice and they do prepare the music, but there's a feeling in the orchestra that everybody is with you, not against you. People are not looking at you. People want you to do your best. People are relaxed and allow you to express yourself and play. And if I never split any notes, of course I never do. But if I
No.
did, I feel
Yes.
I don't, my job doesn't depend on it. And I know that from British colleagues in British orchestras, at times they've said people might not be quite so forgiving, you know. So I find it now a very healthy environment to work. I'm less stressed because I know that if I'm personally prepared and doing my best, um, then everything will be fine. So it's a very good place, I think, to make a living as an orchestral
All right.
musician.
That's cool. I have two great friends there. One of them is Fabio Neves. He's Portuguese. He's teaching at the Royal College. I don't know if you know him. He's a great friend. Portuguese.
That's it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't know him. I don't know him really well, but I see him from time to time. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Good
And
man.
another
Yeah.
another one is my brother Michael Barkley from the Barkley Microphones. If you don't know him, you should know.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, I do know him. I do know him.
All right.
And like today, I had this terribly difficult thing to record, and he helped me in January. I had some sessions with him, how to set up my equipment, which microphones to buy, how to use the software to record as best as I could, and if anything needed, if anything was slightly out of tune and I wanted to or split a note, you know, and it's made these last few months when I've been recording in this space much better. And as well, for my teaching business, this, I do lots of videos, and for the material that I'm going to use, I will, of course, record it for the students. And this room here is very, very, very dead. And he has taught me how to make it sound wonderful, like a cathedral, you know. So Michael, he is one of the good guys. He definitely
Yes,
is one of the good guys.
yes, he is absolutely. Sure, I just lost your image there. I could understand everything you said, but let us just get back the image. Can you see me? Second, just to make sure we can see you. Let's see. Okay, your image is back. Okay. So Shaun left, and now I'm going to invite him again. See if I can't find Shaun. Give me just a second, guys. We'll be all right. We'll take the chance to show you while we don't have Shaun here. Shaun is back, but to show you the Uber mutes anyway. So, hi Shaun.
Hi, we finished.
That's all right. We are back.
Sorry. Okay. Are we still talking to people?
Yeah. We are.
Good. Sorry, I
If,
had to. I seem to have a network problem, so I had to come into the house.
no, that's all right. That's all right. That's all right. We are not
Okay,
going to take longer anyway. So just to finish
that's right.
it properly, Shaun.
Yes.
First of all, I was taking the chance to show these guys. I showed yesterday the Uber mutes. Please, guys,
Oh
contact
yeah.
Frank Uber. You should all contact Frank, man. They are amazing. All the classic mutes you can imagine. This is the mega mute. No one almost not used today, but it's great. Anyway, so Shaun, as a teacher now, we know you as a player now, and you are a perfectionist, and you are a guy that works really hard, and that's awesome. And I think I'm a bit scared of teachers like you. I've always
Really?
been. No, I will explain why. We are always scared of teachers that push us too hard. But now I understand that I would like one teacher like that again. I lost
Sure.
once because of that. My teacher at the university was a bit like you. He liked a lot of focus, and on the time I was, and now I give the value. Why? Why? So what I want to ask you is, what do you look for in your students? And are you with them as you are with yourself? And if so, why? Because that brings a lot of benefits that I know it
Well,
does.
I think yes, I treat the teaching side the same as the playing side. Uh, it has to be a balance between enjoyment, otherwise, what's the point?
Yes.
But also, there needs to be some focus on good technique. I do like my students to have a good, solid technique. So I normally spend every student. I've got a guy who's 85 that I was teaching yesterday, and he's still working on his technique. He's 85, but then he just wants to play jazz standards, and I make some backing tracks for him, and we
Yes.
have a bit of
Awesome.
fun and stuff as well. But I've said to him, you know, you could be playing, if you're 85, you could be playing for another 20 years. You've got to
Why
keep
not?
trying to work on your technique, you know. And he goes away, he does his flexibilities, he does his embouchure technique, he works on his tonguing, and you know, he's improving.
That's what
And then
matters.
it's the same for the little ones. I don't start teaching them till they've got their second set of teeth. But when they're 8 years old or whatever, they're expected to do their flexibility exercises and their tonguing and all of the rest of the work on their breathing, all that kind of thing. But I say to them, just put that in a little in a box. Do it for 5-10 minutes. I mean, maybe only 5 minutes for the little ones. Put that in a box and then play music, because that's what
Okay.
it's all about. And all that technique will move into the music side of it, and it will be there for you when you need
Exactly.
it. It will be there for you. What I don't like to see is students that come to me far later in life and have never done any technique or any reading, and they're very frustrated because they can't read. So you give them a new piece of music and they don't know what to do with it. So the technique is a dead end technique where it's got them so far, and then no further. You know,
Yes.
and with the reading, you know, I put a lot of store on sight reading, and all of my guys that have done their grades this time, they've all got either 9 or 10 out of 10, and they can all transpose. They're
Awesome.
up to about grade 4 or 5. But we do jazz improvisation, and nearly everybody does some jazz as well. I use a great book called, I love it, it's called The Jazz Commandments, like the 10 Commandments. It's called The Jazz
All
Commandments, and
right.
it teaches people how to swing and how to do scoops and doits and all this kind of thing. So, but then they'll be using the arbon as well, you know.
Oh, yes.
So
Always.
everybody does a bit of everything. There are very few people that only want to do classical or only want to do jazz. So a mix, and that is what my job is like. But if you want to enjoy all of trumpet playing, do a bit of this, do a bit of that. You know, don't just do jazz standards. I mean, maybe that's
Exactly.
what I'll do when I retire. Maybe that's what I'll do, just jazz
Yeah,
standards. But
but you know you can,
the
especially
trumpet
now you can't
journey,
work. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Tell me.
no, your journey on the trumpet should be abroad. That's what I tell my
Yeah.
students. You know,
And especially here, that's why I was saying here in England, the market is really varied. You can be doing something in an orchestra, and you can be doing a funk job or a commercial job at night, and you need to do a bit of everything, and
absolutely, to
that's
survive.
good.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's good. That's good. Okay, so let's go just to the last message, Shaun. Please, I don't want to forget because I like to give opportunity to everyone on that. Which trumpets do you play and which mouthpiece? Because you are a Besson and BNS artist, so from the Buffet Company.
Sure, sure.
Make a bit of
I
publicity to your material because they are good.
yeah. I've been playing BNS trumpets for a long time. I said I've been here for 20 years. After 1 year here, lots of other players did play the C trumpet, and in England at that time nobody played the C trumpet. And the orchestra I play in is quite small; it's only 45 players.
Yes.
So I wanted smaller equipment, and I sort of thought, well, I will, particularly for the operas that we do and some of the contemporary music we do. So I came to London and I spent 2 days trying every sea trumpet that was ever made. And maybe because of my inexperience, I didn't like any of them. And then just arrived from East Germany, the B&S trumpets. Phil Parker had one, and he said,
Yes.
it's £600. I said, no, I want a professional trumpet. £600. It can't be a professional trumpet. He
Perfect.
says, well,
Yes.
no, they're new to the market. They've historically been cheaper because they were made in Eastern Europe, but they're very skilled factory with many generations of people. And I loved the trumpet. I loved it. I loved it. So I played that for about 5 years. And then when I was looking, I decided because of my work, I needed a separate trumpet for lead trumpet playing, because I'm lead trumpet in the RT Big Band as well,
Yes.
and classical playing. So Phil Parker said, well, look, take it's called the JBX. Unfortunately, I can't show it you because it's back in the studio.
Yes.
Take the JBX lightweight bell trumpets, and I loved that. And they said, but try the classical model as well. So I got one that had the same bell shape. It had the same lead pipe, but the bell was much thicker for the orchestral
Yes.
instruments. And so when I was changing between the two, they blew kind of the same, but the sound was very different.
Was it?
And
Yes.
since then, I think I now have every B&S trumpet in the catalogue. So I play B&S.
Yes, yes. All right. I just wanted to know that. I love the sound of the BNS and the way they are built as well. So that's really important. Okay. So Sebastian is some people there saying hello. João Mogo, great players around here. João Mogo from the orchestra in Algarve, Portugal. So Shaun, a last message, really quick to send you away because you have your job as well and your work.
Absolutely.
First of all,
Yeah.
thank you so much. But a last message to the young generation, what do you want to tell them if they want to become a professional player like you with a successful career?
Don't practice till you get it right. Practice till it can't go wrong.
Okay, okay.
Till it
That's
can't
good.
go wrong.
Okay, that's different. All
Great
right.
stuff.
All right. Thank you so much. God bless you,
Go
brother, and
now.
speak soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.